Welcome back to Mastering Defense Infrastructure, episode 20, if you can believe it. I'm Darian Macy, and as always, I'm joined by the ever-insightful Jessica Bottlebrush. Before we dive in, quick announcement, I'll be taking the Mastering Defense Infrastructure course on the road, starting with Darwin in August. So if you're keen to get hands-on, check out decknet.com.au/events for dates and tickets. All right, Jess. Today's episode is all about the Army's infrastructure transformation. Big topic, lots to unpack.
Yeah, and it's a huge moment for Army infrastructure. The 2023 Defence Strategic Review really changed things up, didn't it? It's not just about patching up old bases anymore. It's a full realignment to support littoral operations, long-range strike, and a more agile force. The Integrated Investment Program and the National Defence Strategy are basically the playbooks here, making sure everything's safe, compliant, and actually fit for purpose. It's a big shift from the old just keep the lights on mentality. And at the big industry brief in Canberra in July, we heard that Defence Estate Strategy is finally getting an update after 10 years, so stay tuned for that.
And the real driver is that future force posture. Australia's got to be ready for rapid deployments, especially up north and along the coast. So realigning facilities isn't just a nice to have, it's essential. We're talking about new amphibious bases, special forces upgrades, aviation hubs, and a complete rethink of how the estate supports capability. It's a massive, coordinated effort, and honestly, it's overdue.
And it's not just about shiny new buildings, right? It's about making sure the infrastructure actually enables the Army to do what it needs to do. Whether that's deploying quickly, training with new tech, or working alongside allies. The strategy is all about future-proofing, and that's a theme we've seen across the last few episodes too.
Let's get into the littoral capability piece, because this is where things get really interesting. The Army's raising a new littoral manoeuvre group, and that means major new infrastructure at Darwin, Cairns, and Brisbane. These aren't just token upgrades. Each site is being set up to homeport the new landing craft, support logistics, maintenance, command, and training for amphibious ops. It's a whole ecosystem.
Yeah, and the scale is wild. We're talking about permanent berths, shore services, in-water maintenance, crew accommodation, logistics yards, roll-on, roll-off wharves, and all the support facilities you'd expect. Mess halls, gyms, medical posts, you name it. Plus, there's a big focus on command and control, secure officers, SCEFs, robust ICT, and all the security you'd need for classified operations.
I've got to jump in with a quick story here. Some of our listeners will remember back in May this year when we launched this podcast during a boat tour of Darwin's harbour. Well, what struck me during the tour was that the logistical complexity up there is something else. Like you've got tides, commercial shipping, defence movements, and then you're trying to layer in new amphibious capability. It's not just find a wharf and park a boat. You need staging yards, secure storage, and the ability to surge for humanitarian or combat deployments. And don't get me started on the training infrastructure, dockside simulators, beach landing zones, even pools for water survival. It's a lot to coordinate.
And each base needs to be scalable, right? So you've got your core facilities, but also forward deployment areas, secondary ramps, laydown space, deployable camp modules. It's all about being able to project power or provide aid quickly, which is exactly what the Defence Strategic Review called for. The investment, $7 to $10 billion for the new landing craft and supporting infrastructure, really shows how serious Defence is about this shift. Let's pivot to Special Forces because Project Greyfin is a huge part of this transformation. It's a 20-year, $3 billion plus program to modernise SOCOMD's facilities. The first phase is already underway, with new works at Campbell Barracks in WA and Holsworthy Barracks in Nettesdals. These aren't just any buildings. They're purpose-built for high-security storage, expanded workshops, and crucially, SIFs for handling top-secret comms and mission planning.
Yeah, and the delivery model here is interesting. Defence awarded a $142 million contract to Built Pedi Limited to handle both the Campbell and Holsworthy packages under a single national contract. That's a smart move, streamlines delivery, leverages industry expertise, and gets these critical facilities online faster. At Campbell Barracks, they're getting a new 2-storey, 4,300 square metre facility, secure storage, workshops, and a skiff-grade comm suite. Holsworthy's getting a similar new building plus upgrades to an older one, all tailored for the 2nd Commando Regiment and other SOCOMD units.
And the security requirements are no joke. Everything from physical security to ICT accreditation has to be top-notch. It's about resilience too, making sure these facilities can support sensitive activities and keep SOCOMD at the cutting edge. The partnership with Built Pti Limited really highlights Defence's push for rapid, industry-led delivery. It's a model we've seen work well in other recent projects, like we discussed with Garden Island in episode 10.
Absolutely. And it's not just about the buildings. It's about enabling the CSR and commandos to maintain readiness, develop new capabilities, and stay ahead of the curve. These upgrades are foundational for the next generation of Special Forces operations. All right, let's talk Army aviation. Townsville is about to become the new hub for Army's Frontline Aviation Brigade, with nearly $700 million going into upgrades at RAF Base Townsville. This is all about supporting the new Apache and Chinook fleets, plus relocating the 1st Aviation Regiment from Darwin and the 16th Aviation Brigade HQ from Brisbane. It's a big consolidation, and it's being led by managing contractor CPB.
And the infrastructure works are massive. New headquarters, hangars, maintenance workshops, expanded simulators, fuel and ordnance storage, and upgraded airfield infrastructure. It's not just about parking helicopters, it's about creating a state-of-the-art aviation base that can handle intensive training and rapid deployments. I actually managed some of the environmental assessments during an earlier expansion at Townsville, and let me tell you, balancing operational needs with environmental compliance is always a challenge. You've got to think about everything from fuel storage to noise impacts on the local community.
That's a great point, Jess. And with Boeing Australia sustaining the Apache and Chinook fleets from Townsville, there's a real boost for local industry and jobs too. By 2028, when all the Apaches are in service, Townsville will be a true aviation powerhouse for the Army, able to support everything from training to rapid regional deployments. It's a holistic approach, not just a patchwork of upgrades.
And the co-location of units means better operational integration, maintenance, command and training all in one place. It's a big step forward for Army aviation, and it really shows how infrastructure underpins capability. Let's not forget Oki. Swartz Barracks is getting a new lease on life as the second node for Black Hawk operations. The first Black Hawks arrived at Oki in July 2025, and the site's ramping up to 18 helicopters by 2030. There's about $9 million in near-term upgrades planned, hangars, aprons, fuel facilities, and improved base services to support the new fleet.
And the transition of Black Hawk training from Holsworthy to Oki is a big deal. By 2026, Oki's Army Aviation Training Center will take over full Black Hawk flight training, with new classrooms, simulator upgrades, and expanded accommodation for instructors and students. It's all about integrated force generation. Oki's not just a training site, it's supporting special ops units as well. That co-location of 5th Aviation Regiment personnel ties Oki directly into operational support, which is a smart move.
Yeah, and it's a good example of how Defence is thinking about the whole life cycle, training, operations, and support all in one place. It's efficient, and it means the Army can generate and sustain capability more effectively. Plus, the upgrades are designed to be scalable as the fleet grows, which is something we've seen Defence focus on more and more.
And it's not just about the helicopters, it's about the people too, making sure there's enough accommodation, mess facilities, and support services for everyone on site. It's a holistic approach, and it really ties back to that fit-for-purpose principle in the Defence Estate strategy. Now, let's zoom out to the national picture. Project ESTU 2046 is all about upgrading 11 major training areas across Australia. This is a $534 million plus program to modernise everything from marksmanship ranges to urban operations facilities and range control systems. It's a huge undertaking.
Yeah, and the scope is really broad. We're talking new small arms ranges with electronic targetry, complex urban combat villages, updated field firing systems for tanks and helicopters, expanded ammo storage and improved camp amenities. Sites like Beecroft Weapons Range, Cowley Beach, Delamere Air Weapons Range, Holsworthy, Majura, Tully, they're all getting upgrades tailored to their specific needs and environments.
And the delivery is staged. Defence released an invitation to register interest for a design services consultant in late 2024, with the design contract expected by the end of 2025. The idea is to align each site's upgrades with emerging capability needs, new vehicles, longer range weapons, multinational training. It's about making sure the ranges are safe, realistic, and able to support everything from individual qualifications to brigade-level live fire exercises.
And it's not just about the tech, it's about safety and flexibility. Upgraded range control, better observation towers, improved comms, and safer impact areas. It all adds up to a much more effective training environment, which is critical as the Army's force structure evolves. So if we step back and look at the big picture, all these estate upgrades, littoral, special forces, aviation, ranges, they're not happening in isolation. They're directly linked to the Army's new force structure, amphibious units, special ops, aviation, and more. Modern facilities are what make joint training, multinational operations, and advanced weapon systems possible.
Yeah, and that integration is key. You can't have a next-gen army without next-gen infrastructure. But Jess, I think the big challenge for defense is sequencing all these massive works programs. You've got to keep operations running, manage relocations, and deliver upgrades on time and on budget. It's a huge coordination effort, and there's always the risk of bottlenecks or capability gaps if things slip.
Absolutely. And I think one lesson is the value of early industry engagement and flexible delivery models, like we saw with Built on Greyfin, or the managing contractor approach with CPB in Townsville. It's about building in adaptability so you can respond to changing requirements without derailing the whole program. And honestly, sharing lessons learned across projects, what worked, what didn't, is crucial for future planning.
Couldn't agree more. And that's something we'll keep coming back to as we look at infrastructure supporting air, joint, and space programs in next week's episode. There's a lot more to cover, but for now, Jess, thanks for another great chat. And thanks to everyone listening. Don't forget to check the event calendar if you want to catch the course in person. See you next time.
Thanks, Darian. Always a pleasure. And thanks to all our listeners. Catch you next week for more on defence infrastructure transformation. Bye for now.